Well, it is a perfect evening for tennis here at Melbourne Park, and the crowds have flooded in all day. Been record crowds in this opening week, and another huge one in Rod Laver Arena as we get set to look forward to some magnificent tennis. Todd Woodbridge here alongside of me, Jelena Dokic. And Jelena, who'd have thought that many years ago you'd be standing in here with a crowd like this, getting ready to watch a match that is going to show us the form of Carlos Alcaraz and Alex de Minaur. How fantastic.
Yeah, unbelievable to be here. And you said it, the opening week, we've broken records. Just when you think it can't get bigger and better, Tennis Australia and the Australian Open makes it happen, doesn't it? And how about the one-point slam last night? But Alcaraz, de Minaur tonight, can't wait.
Yeah, last night was incredible, but now we get to see some more serious stuff. We get the in-depth. Both of those players are making their way out. Alex de Minaur, let's just take a little look at him and see how he's been progressing, what the form might be looking like. He's been doing some really good stuff. I think we're going to have some pictures, but they're not coming in here. We're going to go to a sound on tape. That's what it's called. Let's go to that hype reel.
And Carlos Alcaraz is up and running.
Oh, that is extraordinary. He's cut from a different cloth.
Oh, wonderful from de Minaur. De Minaur gets it done.
Tennis fans, it is now time to welcome the players to Rod Laver Arena. Could you please welcome Alex de Minaur?
Alex, welcome back to Melbourne, Rod Laver Arena. How about this? Standing ovation coming out before you even get to your first round. How special is this?
How good is this? Back home. Thank you, guys. Yeah, I'm super excited.
Now, for you, you had a couple of matches at United Cup. What is this week about, and what are some of your goals going into the Australian Open?
Yeah, look, I started the year well at United Cup, and I'm just looking forward to prepping, getting ready, and fine-tuning a couple of things, and hopefully a tough match against the big Carlos.
And just a quick one on fine-tuning. What about the tactics tonight? Can you tell us a little bit?
Ooh. Hit the ball very hard and close to the lines. Yeah.
Sounds like a good tactic. Good luck.
Thank you.
And tennis fans, their opponent here tonight, could you please welcome the world #1, Carlos Alcaraz.
Carlos, welcome back to Rod Laver Arena. You've been here already this week. How about last night? How did that preparation go? What happened?
I got nightmare, to be honest. You know, from yesterday drop shot. But it was fun. It was cool. I enjoyed so much the event last night. I think it was something that they're doing really well, the week before the tournament began. So hopefully, or I hope that people enjoy that much or as much as I did. But yeah, I expected much more than myself.
Now, how important is this match tonight when it comes to your preparation for the Australian Open?
Well, it helps you a lot, to get ready, to get into the match rhythm. I think there is no better way to do it against Alex. Someone like put you a lot of rhythm on the match, hitting the ball really well, really fast. So playing the Rod Laver full crowd, I think helps a lot to getting ready for the tournament. So I'm just trying to use it as much as I can.
Now, Alex said his tactic is to hit the ball as hard as possible and on the lines. What is your tactic? Tell us. But be honest, there's no one watching, just a few million people.
Well, he's one of the fastest guys on tour, so probably same tactic as me, hitting the ball as hard as I can and close to the lines. And I think that could be a really good call.
Well, good luck. We'll see who does it better. Good luck.
Thank you.
Nice little insight from both players. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Rod Laver Arena. Australian Open opening week has played out to packed audiences. Great tennis as we build up to the opening Grand Slam of 2026. David Colbert in the booth. Wally Masur courtside. Jelena Dokic will make her way around and join me as well. And we are just about to have the toss of the coin. Get things underway here. 2 tie-break sets. I had an epic here last year in the AO exhibition matches. 3-setter, 2 hours. Thoroughly entertaining. It was the tightest of all of the matches that we saw. Young Zaylee will be tossing the coin today. Incredible strength she's shown through 17 rounds of chemo, 31 rounds of radiation, 2 surgeries.
Conditions are the same as it is for AO.
She battles a rare type of children's cancer, and we give her a huge shout out.
Zaylee, are we going to ask Alex? Yes? Alex, would you like Mark Edmondson or AO?
Which one do you think I should choose? All right.
AO?
AO.
All right, as high as you want. Perfect. Oh, it's rolling. It's AO. What would you like to do?
I'll receive.
Receive?
I say.
Perfect, guys, and we'll just turn around and we'll face this guy over here. We're in the blue camera.
So Alex de Minaur wins the toss, elects to receive. Can introduce Wally Masur, and I look down here. Wally, great to see you courtside. Looking forward to your input tonight. And these 2 men, quarter-finalists at the Australian Open. And as I look at the resume of one, Wally Masur, semi-finalist. You've got these 2 covered. Good evening to you.
Yes, thank you, Dave. Couple of rabbits out here, Rod Laver Arena. I'm just looking at Carlos. He's only won 6 Grand Slams, but this is the one that has eluded him. So I'm kind of curious to see what sort of form he's in, because you wonder, has he done something slightly different this year to make a difference?
So we're not too far away from getting this underway. We can introduce both our plays properly, but what a spectacular evening here at Rod Laver Arena for this exhibition match between 2 great champions. So Alex de Minaur, 26-year-old, world number 6. Career high for him, 10 titles. In Washington last year, quarter-finalist at the Australian Open and all of the other Grand Slams. That's the big challenge for the Demon in 2026. Can he take the next step? Runner-up in Rotterdam to Alcaraz, has been through the United Cup. And there's that Australian Open history. Consistent through to the 4th round, and then last year the breakthrough to get to the quarter-final. He won his match in Jannik Sinner. And at the other end, Carlos Alcaraz. Oh, what a resume he's got at just 22 years of age. World number 1, 24 titles to his name. 6-time Grand Slam champion, last 3 finals. Quarter-final here, as we mentioned, is the one thing that really does stand out. He's looking to improve on that record in 2026. Raising money tonight for the Australian Tennis Foundation. Proceeds from all of the Australian Open charity matches go to the Australian Tennis Foundation to support a bright future for kids through tennis. You can donate and find out more at ausopen.com/ATF 2 minutes.
or via the QR code, which is now on the screen. So 5,000 rackets being distributed to kids this week, the opening week. Huge crowds, nearly 40,000 the last 3 days, enjoying everything, the qualifying, Melbourne Park in all its splendour, and these tremendous exhibition matches. Jelena Dokic has dashed around from the court to join us in the bunker, and good afternoon, good evening to you, Jelena. Great to see you again. And well, last time these 2 met in this
environment last year. It was an epic. What are you expecting tonight?
Yeah, it was. Look, it's great to be here, and how great is it that we have these kinds of matches in the opening week before the first round kicks off on Sunday. Quick head-to-head there with Alcaraz in the official matches leading 5-love, but they've had some epics, including Alex de Minaur having some match points a couple of times. But I think this match, look, they're going to have a bit of fun, but also it is a great opportunity to fine-tune your game, to get out there on Rod Laver Arena and to also get some time on court.
Well, Jay Chu is a big name. He had the biggest cheer last night when he came out onto Rod Laver Arena. And a pop superstar. I like my K-pop, J-pop, C-pop, and I need to get across a little bit of Mando pop.
Yeah, he's a big stain. Actually, I just saw him literally 15 minutes ago, just meeting Roger Federer and having his picture with him. So that was, everyone was really excited.
You've seen a lot of the Demon, the United Cup this year, and of course he loves that environment, playing for Australia. 2 wins and a loss, and he had some good form.
He did, and I always feel like he really does come out and play some of his best tennis in Australia. But also, I think if you look at last year as well, to be number 6 in the world, to have another year in the top 10, yes, we talk about that breakthrough of getting through to a Grand Slam semi-final, but how consistent is he? One of the most consistent players out there. And what I really like, I think, is the growth, both physically but also psychologically as well. And I really feel like he's ready for a breakthrough this year.
He's talked about what he's concentrating on, adding a bit of bulk and power to the game. Got to be careful you don't lose that trademark speed and capacity to get around the court like a Energizer Bunny, because that's one of his trademarks as well. But when you look at Alcaraz and what he brings, he's hardly got a weakness. So trying to find a way through that is tough.
It's pretty safe to say at 22 years of age, 6 Grand Slam titles, that I'm not sure he has a weakness out there, and he's also so good under pressure, isn't he? He doesn't have a problem. But it was interesting to hear them both say in the interviews they're going to just try and hit the ball as hard as they can and hit it on the lines.
That was Wally Masua's tactic, just go out there and smash it. Wally, what are you expecting?
Well, it's interesting because Demon has been talking up the fact that he wants to bulk up a little bit, he wants to play harder, but, you know, look, I find it interesting because he hits the ball pretty flat. He doesn't hit it with a lot of spin or margin, so how hard can you hit it? And he is an accurate player already. I think he's... Look, everybody wants to be better. He's 6th in the world, and I think incrementally, if he just sticks to his task, his best years are still ahead of him. So he doesn't want to try to play too big and lose what you're talking about, Dave, lose that great counter-punching ability, that great speed, the great court craft, because he's actually got some court craft that a lot of the players don't have. Alcaraz does have it, unfortunately, the slice, the ability to move forward. But I think Demon, he's got to look at the game holistically. Yes, you want to get incrementally stronger, but you want to get incrementally better in every facet of the game, from serve to volley to transition. Just keep getting better. His time will come. He will get past a quarter of a major for sure.
Great atmosphere at Rod Laver Arena. Full house. Opening week reaches its crescendos over the next couple of nights, but this one was one that many tennis fans had penciled in.
Carlos Alcaraz to serve.
Demon won the toss. He said to Carlos, "You can serve." We're about to get things underway. Last year's encounter, the opening set, Elena went for 75 minutes, and then they thought, well, they might have played enough here, and then they played another set that went almost as long, over an hour, and then they had a 10-point tiebreaker just to finish it off. They didn't want to leave the court.
No.
Net. First service. Chila.
think also this kind of match, they're going to go out there. They are going to compete. Yes, they're still going to have a bit of fun and be as relaxed as possible, but they're going to try, I think, different things you work on in the off-season, and even that slice right there. We know Alcaraz uses it, but that's one that maybe he wouldn't do off that shot. He went down the line as well. So that's what you look for, I think, in this kind of a match. Are they going to bring something different and something new? Sure, we'll talk about this a lot over the next fortnight. That's now the Alcaraz service motion. Definitely changed, but a lot of people are talking about the start, whereas he starts like Novak Djokovic, pretty much copy-paste of Novak's serve. Very interesting change. Too good. You can see what he has the ability to do. He turns a bit of defense into attack. He was further back behind the baseline than Alex, but then with his speed, the depth of shot, look at this forehand right here, and that's where he then creates this short one.
Loves to come in, and he's such a proficient volleyer as well that just puts immense pressure on his opponent. You feel in a state of panic when you know that Alcaraz is charging forward.
Another perfect example.
So Alcaraz hold serve.
First game.
And this is what so many players have said playing Alcaraz and even Sinner, because you kind of feel like they're a level above pretty much everyone else. And it's the fact that he doesn't give you any time or space to breathe. It's not just the power, but how early he takes the ball. This is interesting, isn't it? What does he drink out here? Even though it's an exhibition match, or you might think, oh, they might take it just a little bit easier, but it's so important going into next week, isn't it? The hydration and what they do. It's those 1%ers that they look for.
Well, it was very warm. It was a lot warmer than expected. Well, conditions at the moment, obviously the sun has disappeared, but it's still in the mid-20s and quite humid.
Yeah, it's actually very pleasant right now. I kind of get the feeling it's going to cool down a bit. That'll make the court heavier, harder to hit through. And Alex now has the wind at his back. This is such an interesting stadium because whichever direction the wind is coming from, it hits the back of the stadium, and at court level it's going exactly the opposite direction. So Demon's got a bit of an advantage at his back right now.
Alexander Zverev commented the other night that he found it really difficult to hit winners as it got a little cooler.
Well, I'd be honest, Dave, if I was Alex, I'd have my manager in there, or I'd be in there in Craig Tyler's office, trying to play as often as I can in the day. I mean, he's a player that doesn't mind the heat, doesn't mind the variables, the wind, the sun, no problem. But exactly that reason, when it's cold, this court is heavy, and it favours more the clay court style of player with the heavier margins.
Yeah, I really agree with that. I found that as well when I played on Rod Laver Arena during the day. It was such a big difference compared to the evening session, and so much heavier. And I think with Alex's game, it's also the way that he plays. He needs faster conditions so that that ball that he hits flat skids through the court. So you'd prefer to play in the day.
And both Musetti and Zverev sent rackets off to get restrung. Change of tension.
Yeah, probably go to a looser one so that they can get more out of the racket. They can get a bit more power.
15-30.
Talk about things that changed. Got a new sponsor for de Minaur in 2026. As a noted fashionista, Yelena, you wouldn't be surprised to know that I'm totally across the tennis fashion.
Oh yeah, I'm not surprised. Dave, I think you're a bit of a dark horse when it comes to fashion. You know your fashion. Yeah.
Appreciate that. Thank you. Under pressure here. Opening service game for de Minaur.
T40. Thank you.
Sharp start for the world number one.
You can see, we know he's such a great mover into the corners out as well. He defends well, but you can see, especially when the racket is on, or the ball is right there on the racket, especially when he doesn't have to move very much, just how much time he takes away from the opponent. It's Alex's service motion. We'll see if he changes anything this year. That was a talking point last year with his first serve, trying to get more pop on that serve.
Love. Let Persons.
So just looking at that forehand there, and Alcaraz has been in the last 3 Grand Slam finals. Why is the Australian Open such an outlier for? Is it just that it's the first one of the season, he's not quite ready?
Yeah, just get to that. It's like, look at this. Alex actually didn't have time to react, and he's the fastest man out there. Incredible power. I think it has to do a lot with the off-season and what he does in the off-season.
Oh, Carlos! Well, if you've paid your $20, you've got your money's worth already.
Did that remind you that's a mirror image of another Spanish player?
Ortila.
I mean, just have a look where he is here.
You mean Nadal?
Incredible. And he does seem, Demon does seem to be reacting to everything that Carlos is throwing at him. It's just, he's too powerful at the moment.
Dave, just going to your point with Australia, I feel like he plays a lot at the back end of the year.
40-15.
For me, I feel like he's coming to Australia every time, and he wasn't fresh, and that's why he hasn't been able to go further here.
Fast start for Carlos Alcaraz, out to a 3-love lead in this opening set.
Alcaraz leads by 3 games to love.
One of many who enjoyed the one-point slam last night, being involved in that, the pressure of serving, the professional, when you lost the rock, paper, scissors. So much fun.
Time.
All right, this is a rare opportunity to have a chat as I walk you back to the baseline, Alex. He's come out a bit serious right now.
Yeah, he's definitely hot at the moment. I'm going to do my best to cool him down.
How are you going to go about that? By the way, I like your new gear. You're looking good in that.
Thank you, mate. Do you guys like it? All right.
What do you do when your heart rate's going through the roof because he's got you moving so quick, so fast in a rally?
I don't know, just got to settle down and try to get on the board.
Right, way you go.
Seems to me a little red rag to the bull. I'm just going to cool him down. Fighting words from the demon.
Oh. Love 15.
Yelena, you were just discussing how the better players, they play a lot at the back end of the year, and of course these men have been involved in tour finals, and in recent years Australia and Spain have both been in the Davis Cup final, so probably gives them a week to have a rest. There's Demon, that'll feel good, dictating a point. Probably gives them a week to have a rest and start to unwind, and then a week to start slowly training, but then they've got to get straight back into it. So it makes for a long year, and this is Demon up inside the court, taking the ball on the rise. That's when he's at his best, when the ball is on the rise, but it's hard to do tonight thus far.
40-15.
They call it an off-season, but for some players it's just so short. And of course, he played an exhibition match against Sinner on the way here.
Yeah. And also, if you look at his results in the US Open as well, and then he always has a little bit of a slower start. Doesn't give him a chance to actually play any lead-up tournaments and get matches under his belt in these conditions.
Thank you.
And then even after the Australian Open going into clay, his results are a little bit up and down for his level, but then he really starts on the clay, doesn't he? I kind of feel like I see him on the clay where he's really refreshed and ready to go.
De Minaur.
So De Minaur gets on the board, gets a cheer from the hometown crowd, and a little thank you to them.
Alcaraz leads by 3 games to 1.
A new coaching set up too for Alcaraz this year.
I would say just a surprising one, shocking one for most, isn't it? To split with Juan Carlos Ferrero suddenly, right in the basically middle of the off season. So we'll see if that has kind of any effect on him, because Juan Carlos has been a part of his development for 7 years. That's a big change. Oh, that's phenomenal athleticism.
What's the scoop on the coaching, Yelena? You don't miss anything, do you know?
You've got Todd Woodbridge there with you, courtside. I think he knows everything. Maybe you can get...
He's shaking his head.
Yeah, he doesn't have a microphone either, I don't think.
He probably knows, but he won't...
yeah, I think he's not going to say anything, exactly.
Yeah. He could work for ASIO, Todd.
It's phenomenal. But in all seriousness, though, Wally, and you know this as well with your experience, that's a huge change, isn't it? Because I feel like when Juan Carlos at times wasn't at tournaments, it has affected Alcaraz, and he would be almost looking up a little bit confused. So it's such a sudden change that I'm really interested to see what will happen with that.
I have no idea, but I think it's interesting sometimes. You have a player like Juan Carlos, who was such a good player in his own right, and he would have been a strict disciplinarian. He would have taught Carlos, you know, routines. He would have driven standards in practice, and he would have been a hard taskmaster, because that's the style of player that he was. And, you know, obviously then Carlos gets that little bit older, more successful, and that message can be wearing. It can be exhausting. So it's interesting. Players sometimes need a different voice.
Delivered 6 Grand Slam titles, Wally.
Oh, get out.
The movement is absolutely superb.
But how's the point construction? With such a great view down here in the bunker. Just the height over the net. He's ripping the ball, but have a look at how he's moving it around. End range volley, and angles the racket face to still get that angle. That's just textbook.
Which has to be good, because De Minaur's so swift, he can pounce on anything there, and then the court's open.
That volley was absolutely brilliant. For a serve volleyer to spend his whole life perfecting the craft, you'd be happy to play that shot. I don't know how many minutes a day or how many hours a week he spends practicing his volleys, but that was as good as I've seen.
Yeah. Well, that might just cool him down a fraction. He's operating at nearly boiling point, Alcaraz.
40-30.
Shows you what it takes, though, to win a point. I love that Alcaraz is serving, bowling, and coming to the net a lot.
Then he walked up to our position afterwards and sort of thought, this is going okay, isn't it?
He gave us a bit of a smile,
I hope you're enjoying this in there.
Deuce.
Oh, brilliant. Classic de Minaur. Work your way back into the game.
Superb though, because I love the way that de Minaur's going back behind Alcaraz right here.
Advantage.
That wrong foot's your opponent, even someone as fast as Alcaraz opens up that open court, and yes, he still had to kind of win the point 2-3 times over, but that's the type of point you want to play.
It's so nice to see a bit of variety in the men's game.
Yes.
You talk about the slice, Yelena, there it was there, but he didn't hit it too hard. It was floated, it was deep, but the next backhand from Alcaraz was hard and flat. And what a way to disrupt the rhythm of your opponent. And Demon, who's as solid as anybody from the back, he was a little surprised. So this is what I love about Carlos Alcaraz. He's exploring all the elements of his game.
Yeah, he's not just a big hitter, is he?
Advantage. Alcaraz.
I think that was so obvious in that US Open final with Sinner, the way that he was able to beat him, and that was the variety, the way that he was able to throw up those heavy, loopy ones and not just give Sinner that ball in that hitting range and give him pace. That was just phenomenal to see from a tactical perspective.
Well, we saw some things in that game, didn't we? Both sides of the court. Alcaraz saves a break point, hold serve, 4-1. Minutes of high-quality tennis, that's for sure. And already the crowds out in the outside areas of Melbourne Park. Garden Square, Grand Slam Oval looks magnificent.
How good has opening week been?
Oh,
record
so
crowds.
Crazy how good it is.
I was out there today, and just the vibe, the energy, the excitement already.
Time.
Carlos, you're back out here. Last night, very different. You get the chance to play more than 1 point, but that looked like a lot of fun. And I watched you at the end when Jordan won the $1 million. That was pretty special.
Yes, absolutely. As I said, that event was incredible. I think it was great for the people to, get ready for the tournament began, and I think it was great that an amateur won the prize. You know, at the end, I was watching with a few players, and yeah, we got crazy when we saw the last point.
You've started off well here tonight. The form looks very good. You're happy with how everything is going?
Yeah, I think so. You know, it's I think everything is going pretty well so far. I'm feeling really comfortable right now. You know, I just feeling great with the ball. So hopefully keep it going.
Not great news for Alex if you're feeling great on the ball at the moment.
Well, I'm not sure about it. But we both are putting a great side on the line.
We'll let you get back to it. Come on, Alex.
There's just a point in the rally often where Alcaraz says, okay, here we go.
This is why we say he doesn't have a weakness. Look at how strong that is at end range. Where do you hit the ball? How do you make him feel uncomfortable out there? I mean, this is just over the higher part of the net. Look at how strong that is. Flick of the wrist. Impressive.
De Minaur returns the favour. Nice little
15.
Short swing, effective.
I like this play from De Minaur, and this is something that he'll be looking to definitely do more of in his game. This is owning the baseline, taking it early, redirecting. That's what he's done so well in the last 12 months.
30-15.
Draw this afternoon, of course, and tasty little encounter for De Minaur up against Matteo Berrettini. Should he continue with the form that he's shown the last few years here? Tiafoe 3rd round, Bublik 4th round, Alcaraz quarter-final, potentially. And for the Australian Adam Walton, he'll be watching this with interest because he's drawn Carlos Alcaraz in the 1st round.
You know what, though, at the Grand Slam, there's so much at stake, and the nerves that you always go, okay, it's the first match. That's what you think about. Especially for Alex, he's got a tough draw, Berrettini 1st round. He'll be really focusing on that one.
So the Demon hangs in there.
So important to hold on, isn't it?
By 4 games
to hold your serve, keep it at 1 break, not get down 2, especially against someone like Alcaraz, such a great front runner. So a great effort from De Minaur to hold his serve. I really like what I'm seeing on his serve as well. Really good placement and variation. That's something at times last year at Wimbledon and the US Open where he struggled a little bit, including the double fault. So I really like what I'm seeing.
Lafferty.
So now we're reaching that seventh game stage. The balls come out of the can very lively. It'll be heavier now. Demon probably has the slightest of breezes at his back. If he's going to break, this is the time to do it. Just looking at Carlos's serve, and it's interesting, a lot of players, they'll change something about their motion, but they're in the same spot as they were previously when it comes to making contact. I'm just trying to gauge here, looking at Carlos's serve live, how much has changed at the actual hit point. The takeaway certainly very Novak-esque.
Is there a reason, Wally? Do you think he would go to a Novak start like that?
Yeah, look, and I'll be curious to see, Jelena, because here we are in an exhibition for charity, and whilst both boys are into it, you know, there's no great tension. Serving well under pressure is really the key, isn't it? And replicating the serve, the same motion over and over when it's been a quick change mid-career, that'll be the big question mark for me. If anything, I just think his grip looks a little stronger, a little more continental, a bit more of a closed face on impact. Maybe a bit more shape through the air.
So, Wally, would he set himself a goal tonight of a specific number of first serves in a specific spot, or just a little test like that to see how it operates under pressure?
Well, Jelena just said she likes what she sees with Alex's serve, and I think, you know, Alex is not over-serving tonight, and I think that's a key for him, not to get caught up if he plays a big server to try to match him for pace. It is a lot about line and length. So for me, I'd see a bit of that from Carlos this evening, just getting the line and length right.
So 5-2, new balls on their way.
By 5 games to 2.
New racket coming out of the bag for Alcaraz on the change to the new balls. Not sure if you saw the water bottle that Francis Tiafoe was operating with, Jelena. It was the largest thing I've ever seen. It was almost like a water tank.
Oh, really?
Like he had to grab it with 2 hands. It was enormous. Keep an eye on that throughout the tournament.
Okay.
Huge.
I admit I haven't seen that.
Mm.
Time.
Novak Djokovic warming down after his encounter against Francis Tiafoe, the American. Straight set 6-3, 6-4 for the 10-time champion. Just getting his steps up for the day. Joe Chow, interested observer. Not sure how he gets through the crowd. The recognition of him, extraordinary. Like Roger Federer downstairs last night. Almost like watching Wally Masur walk around the venue, Jelena. It's hard for Wally to get around and get into position without being swamped by fans.
Well, that's true at the old age home, Dave.
We talk about this being an exhibition, practice match, etc., but this sort of experience when you're serving to just keep the set alive, it's just a little test. To extend it another game.
Yeah, I love that angle though from Alex, what he's doing. Because even the Alex from a few years ago, he's such a great ball striker still, but it was, I feel like, a little more up and down the court. I don't know what you think, Wally, but now he's able to get a little bit more round the ball, a little bit more shape, heaviness, which gives you more angle to work with.
the speed and the change of angle from Alcaraz, the direction.
40-15.
Yeah, I think you're right, Yolanda. With his forehand's interesting because he can hit the. Just having a look at Team de Minaur. That's Matt Reed, former player in the front row. Adolfo Gutierrez, that's his long-time coach and mentor. Of course, Leighton Hewitt, Davis Cup captain. So these are the men that are guiding the direction of Demon's career. But Demon, when he gets a low ball, he's very good. He's got a very, very flat, neutral grip, so he tends to hook around the ball. But as it gets higher, he's got that ability to sort of shave it away. So with every revolution, it's just sort of fading away from his opponent. He's hit a couple of beauties tonight.
So de Minaur extends this opening set for now.
Oh, that's actually
leads by 5 games
a great hold because we feel like Alcaraz has come out of the blocks so quickly, and you maybe felt like Alex was being outplayed the first 2-3 games, but how well he's holding on here and really forcing now Alcaraz to have to serve out the set. It's always what you want to do, don't you? Make your opponent feel it, even in a match like this. It's still that pressure of having to now serve out the set.
Thank you.
Injection of power is incredible. And he can do it at any time, from anywhere in the court. He's so dynamic and explosive.
Love. 40 love. Forty, 15.
That's an excellent point from de Minaur. Again, the addition to his game to be able to come forward, take advantage of his ground strokes, especially if he can take the ball early. Look at how well he closes the net, eye level with the ball. Just guides that down the line. It's great court awareness.
Impressive set from Carlos Alcaraz. 41 minutes, 6-3. And we saw a little bit of everything, didn't we, from the world number one. Particularly in the middle stages, broke de Minaur's opening service game.
Yeah, He was strong from the start, wasn't he? Knew exactly what he wanted to do, and just the way that he plays, there's really no weaknesses. He's a complete player, and he showed that. The aggressive game style and really went after it. I really like that he came forward a lot and serve and volleyed. It's definitely something that he will want to do in matches, especially under pressure.
How's your Mando pop knowledge?
It's not bad. I don't think it's as good as yours, though.
No, it's a new genre for me.
Yeah.
It's the Western R&B, hip-hop, pop with the traditional Chinese music. So it's in Mandarin, and our man, Jay Chow, has sold over 30 million records worldwide, and the young fans love it. How do you feel as you're sitting in the stadium and they're playing your own song? That's got to be kind of an interesting feeling.
Time.
Energy is up at Rod Laver Arena because the wheels of steel are just in operation. And there is the man whose song is being played, Jay Chow. He's oozing coolness.
Yes, he sure is. There we go. The young ones know it.
Second sets.
Played in the 1-point slam last
Alex
night.
de Minaur to serve. Love 15.
Always important to hold, especially if you're serving first. You can try and create some of that scoreboard pressure. Alex got broken in his opening service game in the first set. Wants to avoid that here.
Thank you.
Alcaraz was so dominant in that opening set through to 4-1 when de Minaur fought back, had a break point. So the game was sort of taken away from de Minaur. What would he be trying to work on here in this second set?
Well, I think just being able to do what he did towards the end of that first set, take care of business on his own serve, get those first serves in with placement. I would still come forward as much as he possibly can. And even shots like this, I don't mind this. I think tactically this is good because against Alcaraz, you feel like you've got to be redlining, don't you? You've got to go for shots, depth, angle. So that's what he has to do out here and play that type of tennis, even if it's a little bit uncomfortable to go for that much and maybe even make a few extra errors.
That's up.
And as we know, with Alcaraz, sometimes he does have maybe a little bit of a tendency just to drop the intensity and concentration a little bit early on in sets. It's really hard to keep up this explosive style of play and concentration in matches. So you almost kind of try and maybe weather the storm and wait for your opportunity.
Yeah, I think you're right, Yelena. Weather the storm is correct. You've just got to fight as hard as you possibly can to just keep some sort of scoreboard pressure on Carlos. He was brilliant in that first set. You have to think there'll be a little dip at some point.
Yeah.
And if you can just hang in there on the scoreboard, you may get a little opportunity. You may not either.
And holding serve would have been a good start, but that's not the way it's going to go for de Minaur. Alcaraz takes the opening game of the second set.
First game, second set.
Even that point right there, what an example. If you just drop the ball a little bit short, or if it doesn't have just that pace, how fast is it to take that so early?
On it straight away, isn't he? Todd's moved his way around to the Demons camp. He's with Leighton Hewitt.
I am with Leighton, and you and I were just discussing the Demons actually played some really good tennis. Carlos's level is somewhere else.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's high quality right from the start tonight as well. And Alex obviously lost his first service game, but I thought the rest of that first set was quality tennis from both players. And sitting courtside here, just how hard these guys are hitting the ball, and then Carlos is able to generate that extra bit of pace at the moment. And no, really happy with how Alex is going. Obviously, that was a bit of a loose service game there, throwing in a double fold as well. So he's got to try and find a way to break back here, but unbelievable preparation.
Yeah, I was going to say, in a situation like this, where it's all a little bit more looser and relaxed, is Alex taking as if it was a match that can go on his record, or is he trying to work on things?
A little bit of both. You know, you're going out there and the preparation today is the same as if he was playing a night match. Next week in the Australian Open, you want to try and go through those same nervous energy that you get. And it's obviously unbelievable to come out here and play on this arena in front of a packed house as well. You can't get any better preparation. But also, you've got one eye on who you're playing next week in the draw as well. And it's a completely different matchup to playing against Carlos.
Yeah, so he actually takes on Matteo Berrettini, and your thoughts on that?
Very tough. One of the most dangerous floaters in the draw, I think. Alex has had some tough matches with him. He's won some, he's lost some, but he's certainly wary of what to expect out there, and he's going to have to be on his game right from the word go, and sometimes that's a good thing to have, though, going into these Grand Slams, to be wary of that first round opponent. You've got to come out and you've got to be really sharp, and he's certainly going to need that in his opening match. But as we said, we've seen so many of these highlights. Can you use these highlight shots for the tournament or not? Because there's been plenty of them tonight.
Well, I'll let you go back. Actually, you'd be good in the commentary box. I look forward to seeing you come next week.
I look forward to it. Thanks, mate.
Well, you think Alcaraz is out of a point, and then all of a sudden, he's not only, it's not a defensive shot, it's a winner.
It's a winner. It's a defensive winner.
I'm just searching through the stats list to find defensive winners as a line item. It's not there.
But guys, don't you think, the sport evolves. So, Carlos is here. He's playing that sort of dynamic tennis that we saw from Roger Federer, where you can up the pace, play forward, play back, use the slice, use the variety. And then that shot there, that's just sort of, that's Novak. That's what Novak brought to the game, didn't he? That massive left foot slide, playing that open stance backhand when you think he's in trouble. And Carlos takes it to another level. So he's just taken the game another step.
Oh, you're right. I think both him and Sinner have. And when you think about it, if you remember Novak just 2 years ago at Wimbledon, where he did say, well, I think Alcaraz is actually a combination of all three, of Nadal, Djokovic and Federer, from defense to attack to the injection of pace coming forward. It's got it all.
I was about to say exactly the same thing, and then you add Sinner into that mix, and that unbelievable final, the French Open, which many think is the greatest Grand Slam final of all time. It's not the number one, it's certainly up there, isn't it?
That was a pleasure to call. 5 hours and 29 minutes.
Alcaraz saved 3 match points.
40 love.
And just, the memory of that was just how hard they were hitting the ball, and it was just brutal.
But to do it physically, not to drop a level barely through.
Well, at Ray, it just
it
incremental
kept going,
improvement for 5 hours and 29 minutes. It shows you how difficult it is to take them on. Novak was a semi-finalist at all the Grand Slams last year, and others, Musetti and Shelton and Felix.
Yeah, I actually think it put a lot of pressure on other players going, look at the level that they've just played for 5.5 hours, and then they go on and split Wimbledon and US Open.
de Minaur.
So on the board in the second set.
Alcaraz leads by
Alcaraz
2
with the break, 2-1.
1.
Coaching advice from the sidelines for Alex de Minaur, having a look over to the box.
I don't think they'd be unhappy with what they're seeing. Yeah. I mean, I think you've just got to say Carlos at the moment is too good, but just fight, try to put a bit of scoreboard pressure on him.
Well, Leighton said virtually as much, didn't he? He'd like to have that first service game back, opening his second set. City of Melbourne looking good ahead of the opening Grand Slam of 2026. Kicks off on Sunday. Still a few exhibition matches to come. Opening night featuring Roger Federer. Crowded house. In a crowded house. Fans enjoying the action, as we are. As I hope you are, wherever you're watching.
Federer on vocals, is it, Dave?
I don't think so. I've seen. Remember, he had that little thing going. They had it was a while back. I think Roger probably decided that singing wasn't his go.
Was it Roger and Grigor Dimitrov singing?
They're around a piano. It was in Melbourne.
Oh, was it?
I thought it was in Melbourne.
Indian Wells.
Okay, you can Google it. Andrei Rublev sang for a little bit, and I think we were all got the impression that he'd prefer that was sent to the rubbish bin as well.
So that point there from Demon, we saw a couple of those points in the previous game on his serve where he's just taking the ball on the rise, minimal swing, but redirecting it really well. So maybe that was the message from the box. Just play up in the court a little bit, deny him some time. Swings can't be too extravagant when you're playing with that aggressive stance. He's done it pretty well the last 2 games.
I actually think he's done that well tonight. It's just that he hasn't had the opportunity to do it as much as he would like to. He's been not just pushed around the court, but pushed back also. And you're kind of a little bit at the mercy of Alcaraz and him dictating and being really assertive. But I like that de Minaur has still got that mindset of, when I do have the opportunity, I'm going to be aggressive, because that's how you get to the latter stages of Grand Slams and big tournaments.
You were right, by the way. Indian Wells.
Oh, was I? Okay. I've got a good memory.
30-15. Lertion.
You can't fault him, can you? That was a perfectly played point. Even the volley.
40-30.
Not many players in the world would be able to hit a lob like that. That's exactly what Leighton said. The level of tennis has been incredible. Cruz Hewitt there, Leighton's son.
But I think if you're the coach of Alcaraz, I mean, that's exactly what you're saying, Elena. I mean, this is good. I mean, you've got to prepare for everything. I mean, I'm not sure I'd serve volley from the end that he is at the moment, but yeah, keep doing it, because the more you do it, the more you get a feel for when to split your step, what type of serve. That serve was a little too direct. You needed a bit more flight to buy a bit more time to get in, but you want to see a player doing different things to evolve.
I think especially because
advantage.
you got to be ready to make mistakes, and I think that that's where champions really differ from others, is they're ready to lose some matches or make those mistakes in order to then get better. This is when you do it matches like this, but then also they'll do it under pressure as well.
A little more competitive in that game. Some glimpses for de Minaur. 3-1 to the world number 1. Just a reminder that this is an exhibition before the tournament starts in front of a packed house. Yolanda's shaking her head. Just
full house.
It's incredible, isn't it?
It's unbelievable.
Well, you said it, Dave. If we fast forward about 10 or 12 days, this is a potential quarter-final matchup, and this is the sort of crowd you'd expect for that. So amazing that they've come out in support of these two players in the event this early.
There's that change up where he's able to go higher over the net, heavier.
You know, Demon had a lot of trouble in his first match of the year against Casper Ruud, and we'll forgive him because of a bit of competitive rust, but Casper hits the ball very heavily, you know, 3,300 RPMs on a forehand. That's Nadal-like. And Demon was trying to take it on, and you just saw there, when he tries to take on that really heavy ball, that's the one he's just got to be a little more patient with. Let that one drop, but if it's hard and flat, he's very good at abbreviating his swings and taking it on.
Unbelievable ball striking. Well, that had everything, didn't it? Pretty much half volleys from the baseline. Change up of pace, variation.
And even when he's not smashing it, it's the placement and the construction of everything, the full package.
Well, it looks like he's actually crushing the ball, but the targets are so big and he's so technically sound and has just enough topspin to be able to rip the ball, but he's still got safety. So if you actually look at Alcaraz's technique, it's excellent. The grips are not extreme, neither are the swings. So not much can go wrong, even under pressure. Oh, well done. That's great tennis. I love that Alex throughout this, no matter the score, he's not hesitating. That short one, he follows it in. I love the assertive play and the mindset around that. And that's exactly what he wants to do this year, play this type of tennis.
Advantage. De Minaur.
Well done by de Minaur. Saved the 2 break points. Couple of good serves when it was required. Alcaraz still leads 3-2. So the proceeds from tonight's exhibition help disadvantaged kids access free tennis programs, equipment and a safe place to connect through sport. Your support helps the Australian Tennis Foundation ensure every kid has the chance to play and belong. Donate now at ausopen.com/ATF or via the QR code there. Wonderful programs that Tennis Australia run around the country. 5,000 rackets being given away throughout this week. Jannik Sinner, I love it here at Melbourne Park, where it's effectively a walkway and the world's best players are going through their paces, little nooks and crannies around the venue and the staff and etc.
Felix Aliassime as well. It was great to do the draw today with Sinner as the defending champion and to hear his thoughts. Really looks really confident going into another Australian Open, of course, 2-time champion.
There'll be an action tomorrow night, final of the exhibitions. Sinner v Felix Aliassime.
That he made that shot look easy.
15.
It was anything but to be all the way out in the tram lines, and there was no coming back from that if de Minaur read that. But the way that he holds it and waits for Alex to commit to the other side, it's just great awareness and use of peripheral vision.
He lost that point, but I actually liked that serve. It was 135 Ks, and he kicked it up high as a bit of a change-up. Now, as I say, Demon's got an absolutely world-class backhand, so it didn't pay dividends, but, you know, that was a feature of his serve. I felt that Carlos, and might be one of the reasons he's gone for a bit of a change, was that he couldn't get the ball to really flight through the air and then get it to jump up and out of the strike zone of his opponent. So it's just another string to his bow when he's serving, and not many players will return as far up in the court as Demon. So it's a good serve to have in your arsenal.
Even looking at that serve from here, we're pretty much right behind here, Alcaraz in the bunker. I feel like going to that bit of Novak Djokovic motion has abbreviated his serve just a little bit, or the start of it as well, and that ball toss used to be a lot higher. I feel like that serve's more solid, more in control now. And it wasn't a weakness by any means, right? But if there was one thing maybe that you could do with that serve is the percentage, the consistency, and you said, Wally, as well, having a kick serve, a heavy serve.
Good serving, mate.
Yeah, it just seems to have given him more flight, more spin, more shape. I mean, he can still pump the ball over 200 when he needs to, but yeah, it's been a very good display tonight against one of the best returners in the game.
I really love that change up from de Minaur, throwing in the slice. Again, I don't think we saw that as much last year. I really feel like that's looks like something that is worked on. And I think that's such a great addition because we're so used to Alex hitting the ball and driving through it so well. But if he can get a slice, it's just such a great change up, not to give your opponent rhythm. It changes up the height of the ball, the depth of it as well. Oh, well done. That's unbelievable ability from Alcaraz to stay in the point, but this is what I love with de Minaur. He didn't back off, right up on the baseline. Even this one right here, you can see taking it on top of the bounce. And what I really like is he's going into the Alcaraz backhand. Not a weakness, but not allowing him too many forehands in that same side to really set up well. His forehands is big weapon, isn't it?
15.
So I like that Alcaraz, or de Minaur's really going into that backhand side and only going to the forehand if he can create something.
So de Minaur, hold serve, hangs in there. Alcaraz leads, 4-3, upper set.
By 4 games to 3.
As we mentioned, that opening service game of the second set, de Minaur broken. Have to have that one back because it's been pretty even since then. A lot of work gone into the artwork, and when you don't have anything else to hold up your sign, you just get some pencils, the old HB.
It's very creative though. Love it.
Time.
Sun setting over Melbourne Park, Rod Laver Arena, looking spectacular. New balls, change of racket. Wally on whether the ball's feeling just a little heavier in the conditions. It's cooled down from what we saw earlier.
Well, Demon's done a great job. He's playing fast. He's playing up in the court, but he's not overplaying. He's redirecting pace. He's accurate. It's within himself. So he's hanging in there. It's just, yeah, as you say, a couple of fast starts in each set from Carlos, but I think this is the end where he wants to try to break right here. He's got the wind at his back. Just got to negate the power of a few of these first serves and get himself in the point. Did I say negate the power?
Yeah. And
how do you negate that?
Well, Carlos heard you and thought,
15 love.
No. It was a hard no.
Well, he did for 4 shots, and he did it well. But he can just go up a level, can't he, Alcaraz, especially off that forehand. Barely see the ball come off the racket, how fast that was.
But I mean, he's done the right thing there, hasn't he, Alex? He's made sure of that first point. I've got to make him play, got to make him play. He's tried again just to make him play.
Well,
Ball just sailed on him. So
yeah.
his attitude is right, but you just such fine margins. You get, Carlos has a moment of time, the point's over.
Yeah, I like what de Minaur did in those first 2 points with the new balls. He went to a chip return, so making sure that he can absorb the pace of the new balls and get the return in. So he's definitely thinking well out there.
It's interesting when Demon goes back and he returned from behind the Melbourne sign there, because he hits the ball so flat. When you're back that far, you've almost got to be like a Medvedev or a Casper Ruud, low to high, but that one was a line drive.
Well, impressive service game from Alcaraz. He was having none of a challenge with the new balls.
Leads by 5 games to 3.
And inside of the finish line here in what has been a most impressive display from the world number 1.
Thank you. Love 15. Love 30.
I'd almost call that a pressure double fault. I don't think there's anything technically wrong with it. It's just that Alcaraz is so on top of that return. He puts pressure on you to go for more and more on the second serve. He almost baits you into double faults.
Let's. First service. 15-30.
Really like the placement of the serves from de Minaur tonight, and I like the slice serve that he's been able to use both on juice and ad side, a little bit more of slice cutting around the ball to get the placement. Oh, get out.
What about the speed from one side to the other, the transition across the court?
I mean, he's right. He's got to attack the backhand here, but you think he's so fast, you almost go back in behind him, you know, make him prop and turn, because on the run, he just reads it so well.
But it's also, how is he able to control that still over the higher part of the net, still to get the racket around the ball to make it almost curl in.
Match point.
Let's. Second serve. Let's. Second serve. Yes.
Living dangerously, couple of lets on the second serve, and that final backhand of Demons just clipped the tape on the way through.
Advantage, Alcaraz.
Flattens that one out, but it's, you can get
Deuce.
some shorter balls of 3 points if you can flatten that one out, including with the slice, both into the forehand and backhand. If it skids really low, see there, Alcaraz, it's so hard for him, but any player, to have to hit up low to high above the net. Oh yes, back behind. What he tried to do 2 points ago when he missed that forehand.
de Minaur.
It's a fine line though, isn't it? Sometimes you've got to go back behind. Sometimes you've got to go into the open court.
Well, so it's a couple of match points with the Demon, so he'll ask the question of Alcaraz once again.
Alcaraz leads by 5
He leads 5-4. It was nice work. You learned something from everything, and that was a good service game for de Minaur. It's a big build-up for the players. So many obligations. He's had his foundation dinner a couple of nights ago. Sponsor an event, activations everywhere. Such a busy time, but the next couple of days they get a chance to be a little more relaxed and have their own time.
Yeah, you have to. Alcaraz has been everywhere, doing such a great job promoting the Australian Open, being here, but 48 hours going into it, you've got to slow down.
Time.
He'll be doing that.
So Alcaraz will serve for the match here. Hour and 23 minutes so far. Sun setting over Melbourne.
Oh, incredible. Not just taking it early, but the angle that he's able to get. So much work on the ball, under and over it, around it. Look at the way he wraps the racket around the ball. Phenomenal.
And isn't it interesting when you watch how he generates power? Look how still his body is, how still his head is. Sometimes when Demon wants to unload, he almost throws himself at the ball using everything he's got. Just easy power for Alcaraz.
30 love. Love.
Interested in the replay of that to bring up 3 match points.
That was a bit ambitious. Side in forehand while you move backwards, but I guess you can afford it at 40 love. Almost made it too.
That.
Well, Alcaraz, he's on his A game, ahead of an AO assault. Impressive.
6-3,
straight sets. A high level. He's ready. Well, they both would have got something out of that volley, but that level from Alcaraz will have the locker room just raising an eyebrow.
Yeah, I agree with you. The ball felt good on his racket tonight. It was just some audacious play off both wings, and the serve looks good. It looks solid. It's got variety. It's got bite. His movement is first class, always is. He looks very, very dangerous. Let's not forget he is the #1 seed, but this has not been his happiest of slams. Yet to get past the quarterfinals, and of course these two slated to meet in the quarterfinals if all goes to plan seeding-wise.
Well, the sharpness was there. Come to expect. Took him a little while to get across the finish line. And his 5th match point. Not much of the work already done. So we're going to be able to hear from both players shortly. Kids bring some extravagant contraptions to get their autographs. They are ready. Alcaraz. Such a popular figure as he will be throughout the Australian Open. A lot of people willing him on to add the missing piece to his Grand Slam trophy cabinet. Can win the Australian Open, a career Grand Slam it would be, having been to the quarterfinals twice the last 2 years. Both players are on court and they are with Wally Masur.
Well, my first question is to the crowd. Are you not entertained? Alex, Leighton was interviewed mid-match and he said, can they use footage of this match as a highlight reel for the Australian Open? It was an incredibly high level. I mean, Carlos came out of the blocks fast.
Yeah, he came out hot and stayed hot. You know what, I did my best, made it competitive, but yeah, he's playing some good ball, so.
Alex, you're always competitive, and I did notice, you know, you were playing pretty up in the court, you were playing pretty fast, and obviously that's something that you've been thinking about over the course of the off-season. You might need to in the main draw. Have you seen the draw? Matteo Berrettini. You've got Francis Tiafoe, Bublik, Carlos. They're not doing any favours here at the home slam.
Hey, if it was meant to be easy, everyone would do it. So I'm excited for the challenge.
I love your attitude, but you must be happy. You had this tune-up, which is awesome under these match conditions, and you played awfully well at the United Cup last week, so you must be pretty happy where you're at.
Yes, super happy, very excited to get started, and yeah, we're just around the corner, so hopefully I can put on a show for you guys. Thank you for the support, and yeah, exciting times ahead.
Carlos, I got the feeling that you came out a little angry because you missed that drop shot last night and you wanted to make a statement.
Yeah, I think so.
It's a bit like in golf, you know, when you miss a short putt, the next drive has a bit of anger.
Exactly. You know, you wanted to hit it, you know, as hard as you can. Obviously, I didn't want to, you know, step out from the Rod Laver, you know, with that drop so miss. So I just came here today, you know, with anger for more, I guess.
It showed. You know, you make the tour finals. You don't get much of an off-season. You're number one in the world. To stay there, you have to improve. So what was the focus for you in that off-season, as short as it was?
Well, if I tell you, I think, you know, the players are you know, listening to that. So I'm not sure if I...
This is in-house. Like, this goes nowhere, Carlos.
No, I mean, you gotta still watching the players. Obviously, everyone is putting in hard work, so you have to be ready for that. About myself, I have my things that you know, I've told many times to maintain my focus, not to lose the focus during the matches or even during the tournament. So I just trying to maintain, to make you know, all the things off the court more much better that I'm doing, which after all I think it helps you a lot when you step on the court and you're giving your 100%. So I think that's something that I've working so much on it, to be happy, to behave well, to stay positive all the time. So I think those things the people not think that is really important, but for me, and I would say here in tennis, the most important thing.
Well, whatever you're doing it right. Look, guys, obviously the crowd here, the crowd all around Australia would love to see the two of you in the quarterfinals, but well done tonight. It was a tremendous show, and let's not forget, it was all for charity. The Australian Tennis Foundation, disadvantaged kids, so tremendous scores. Thank you. Thanks.
Well, Yelena, you've joined me courtside, and it was a pretty impressive match. When you get to listen to them, they're relaxed and not too worried about a win or a loss. But when you see what Carlos produced, that was incredible. I'm sitting courtside watching while you're in the booth, and the speed and the power, and you talked about the injection of pace were extraordinary.
It was extraordinary, and also the way that he came out so sharp as well. And you look at it and go, well, that sends a message, doesn't it?
It does.
Impressive.
I'm having second thoughts because I picked Jannik Sinner to go for the three-peat, and what I watched there, it's going to be tough for Jannik. But there is so much to play out, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. But it was the fact that he just showed a full repertoire of what he has. We know he doesn't have a weakness out there, but have a look at that.
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy stuff.
But look at where he makes that shot from, very, what we mentioned, Nadal-like, but where he is, the way that he's also able to just keep the pressure on, he doesn't allow you to breathe. It's not just the pace, it's how early he takes the ball, and then he does that. Look at that.
Well, it's not just the injection of power, they're all court play, isn't it? The open stance there on the backhand, but the volleys are exceptional too. I mean, we can focus on Alex for a minute. All those approach shots are going to beat just about everybody else in the draw.
Absolutely, and I really actually loved the way that Alex played tonight. I'd see an improvement in the serve. He was coming forward, he was playing aggressive, and exactly what he wants. So I saw a little bit of variation with the slice, something he's bringing into his game also. And against anybody tonight, if he wasn't this level, he would have won, and he certainly would have been. And I think it was actually a lot closer than it looks. It was a break in the first set, and even like Leighton said to you, the level of tennis was incredible.
Yeah, well, both of these boys doing the right thing, signing autographs. The turnout here tonight, another full house, and of course all of that helping going to the Australian Tennis Foundation charity. But I love the way they've come down with the chords and the strings to get things down to that right height.
They're getting very creative, aren't they, just to get an autograph.
Well, it's been great to see Carlos out on court, and I mentioned Jannik Sinner. Well, that's what's coming up tomorrow night. He'll be taking on Felix Auger-Aliassime right out here for another exhibition.
Yeah, we can't wait for that. Felix back in the top 10, and two players with massive power. Of course, great to see Sinner out there before the tournament starts as well, just like Alcaraz. Maybe give us a little bit of an insight into what his form is like.
Yeah, it's been incredible. Well, we know what's coming tomorrow night, but then on Saturday night, we've got another very special night. It is an opening ceremony featuring the great Roger Federer.
And the scene is set for a fabulous fortnight here down under.
Here we go. Victory for Federer! That is very special indeed.
Just another memorable Melbourne night. Truly, truly phenomenal.
Well, I got the chance to talk to Roger, interview him today, and he's loving being back. It's going to be so great to see him out here. Andre Agassi, Pat Rafter, Leighton Hewitt, it's going to be special.
Yeah, it's going to be very special. Saw Roger today as well. How relaxed is he looking in his retirement? Can't wait to be a part of that opening ceremony, not just the inaugural one here at the Australian Open, but ever at any Grand Slam. It's going to be amazing.
Indeed. Well, it was another good night. We haven't even started yet. We've got that coming up, and of course, the main draw gets underway on Sunday. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you soon.
baseline is tennis like you've never seen it before. And this is how it works. 6